Yesterday we worked with age problems and we worked with two-digit number problems. Today we're going to do coin puzzles to start off. In a coin bank, there are 250 dimes and quarters, worth a total of $39.25. We're going to find out how many dimes and how many quarters there are in the bank. In this problem, what are we looking for? How many dimes and how many quarters? What variables do you want to use? You can use X and Y, but for me, I'm going to use D and Q. Just because that way, I know when I get D equals, I know that's my dimes. When I get Q equals, I know that's my quarters. If you still want to use X and Y, that's fine with me. The first thing I know, there are 250 coins, or 250 dimes and quarters. How can I change that into an equation? It's not 250D. What am I doing with these coins? Add them to get 250, right? D plus Q equals 250. That is the total number of coins. I have so many dimes, so many quarters. I know there's a total of 250 of them. That's the first one. What do I know about a dime? 10 cents. How do I write 10 cents? 0.1, you can put the 0, D. 10 cents per dime. Plus, how much is a quarter? 0.25 Q. It's 10 cents per dime, 25 cents per quarter.
Why was I thinking of a nickel?
I have no idea. What do I know about my dimes and quarters? They equal $39.25. That is your system. Now, a lot of you don't like those decimals. Okay, D plus Q equals 250. I don't like the decimal. How many decimal places do all of these have? 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So I'm going to go 10D plus 25Q equals 3925. 10 cents is a dime, 25 cents is a quarter, so that means I have 3,925 cents. That's all I've done. Which method do you want to use? Elimination or substitution? Elimination is probably going to be easier, but I can use substitution. Why? Elimination. Which variable do you want to eliminate, D or Q? D. What do I have to multiply by on the top? Y and negative 10. One's positive, one's negative. I could have got rid of Q, but now I have a bigger number. When I distribute it through, negative 10D minus 10Q equals negative 2500. I just add a 0 to everything. 10D plus 25Q equals 3925. Why didn't I do anything to that bottom one? It was already a 10. I didn't need to do anything. D's cancel out. What's a negative 10Q and a 25Q? 15Q. Negative 2500 and 3925. 1425. What do I need to do? Divide by 15. Q is 95. Now, what do I know about this answer? What must I get every single time? I must get a positive number, and it has to be a whole number. You can't have negative coins, and you can't have half of a quarter. So you know if you get a negative number or you get a fraction or decimal, you made a mistake somewhere. So if there's 95 quarters, how many dimes are there? How would you figure this out?
By plugging the Q back into the equation.
Substituting back into this original one, which really all I have to do is take 250 minus 95. So if there are 95 quarters, there has to be 155 dimes. And that's your answer.
Is that all you gotta do? You really have to do all that work?
What do you mean, all that work? Yeah, you need to figure it out somehow. This is what I want to see. I know if you got 95 and you just wrote right next to it D is 155, I'm assuming you just substitute in. Is this one a little bit easier? Okay. In a jar, there are 275 dimes and nickels, worth a total of $21.85. How many dimes and nickels are there? I want you to try to set up the equation first. By yourself. All right. Now, the setting it up, what variables do we have? D and N, dimes and nickels. What's the first setup? D plus N equals 275. What's the next one going to be? 0.10D 0.05 N equals 2185. Now, the top mistake made on these types of problems is the fact that you write 5N. You have to... It says nickels. So, what I want you to do now, since most of you had this setup correct, see if you can solve it. I'm sort of going to do this in one giant step, because most of you are going to move this over 2 places. Which variable are you getting rid of? D. So I'm going to multiply by 10. 10D plus 10N equals 2,570. I'm sorry, negative, negative, negative. 10D plus 5N equals 2185. The D's cancel out. Negative 5N. This is negative 565. Now, that's fine. That's fine that you had a negative here. But a negative divided by negative is positive. N is 113, which means there has to be 162 dimes. That's your answer. The next type we're going to do are wind and current puzzles. A plane leaves New York City and heads for Chicago, which is 750 miles away. The plane, flying against the wind, takes 2.5 hours to reach Chicago. After refueling, the plane returns to New York City, traveling with the wind in 2 hours. Find the speed of the wind and the speed of the plane with no wind. Problem. We're talking about a plane, and we're talking about the wind. The hours matter something too. Now, for these problems, you have the plane flying against the wind. If you go against the wind, what does it do to you? It slows you down. If you're going with the wind, what happens? Speeds you up. So it's addition and subtraction. So I'm going to call X the plane and Y is the wind. If you want to use P and W, go ahead. But I'm using X and Y for a reason here. X plus Y. So the plane plus the wind. What's going to happen to that? Is it going to speed you up or slow you down? Speed you up. So which one's the faster time? 2 hours. So times by 2. All of these problems are going to be the standard. We take the rate times the time equals the distance. How far is it to New York City from Chicago? 750. That's your first one. Now the second one. If this one's going with the wind, the other one's going to go x minus y, and that's going to take 2.5 hours. Takes longer. How far is it? Why is it 750? It's the same distance to and from. I can make these problems a lot easier to solve. What can I do here for this first one to make it easier? Don't distribute. What is this 2 doing to this? So how can I get rid of it? Divide, divide. X plus y equals, what's 750 divided by 2? 375. What can I do on this one to make it easier? Divide by 2.5. $750 divided by 2.5 is 300. So now it becomes x plus y equals 375. X minus y is 300. Now, what do you notice here? Looking at this system, what could you tell me?
Adding up the 375 and then subtracting them. Well,
It's 75 more in the.
Look at this system. What do we notice? What's different?
They cancel.
The y's are different and they're the same, right? The y's will cancel out. The y's will always cancel out. What's x plus x? 2x. What's 375 and 300? 675. Divide by 2. X is, that's 337.5 miles per hour. This is different. So this means 337.5 miles per hour. That is how fast the plane is traveling.
Now, do we still do it like we're.
So the plane was 337.5 miles per hour. Now we got to find the wind. Now, the way to look at it this, I'm going to look right here. If the plane was 375, or sorry, 335, 337.5, if I can ever say it right, and I subtract the wind, and I get 300, how strong is the wind?
you subtract 300 from here,
Yep,
so
37.5 miles per hour.
Wait, what you subtract?
All I did is I had 337.5 minus something is 300. So if I subtract 37.5, I get the wind. All I'm going to do and minus 300, and that gives me my 37.5. There's your 2. So it's a strong wind and the plane is going fast, which you would think has to happen. Try to set up this one. This one here, I have a swimmer, begins a trip upstream. He swims a total of 3 miles in 2.5 hours. He turns around and swims with the current to his original starting position. It only takes him 0.3 hours. How fast is the current, and how fast is he actually swimming with no current? Try to get it set up. They're all going to be x plus y times something equals something. X minus y times something equals something. What's the distance in this problem? 3 miles. It has to be the same both ways. Now I need to worry about my times. I have 0.3 hours and I have 2.5 hours. Where does the 2.5 go? 2.5 is the longer time, right? The longer time goes with the subtraction because it's slowing you down. The other one is going to be 0.3. I'm going to divide and solve. What I want you to do for homework, finish this problem.